Russa Sports Show is on the air. Happy Memorial Weekend to you. Mike, Max, Patrick Royce, Dark Star, and Sid Hartman. Sydney, let's talk. Your paper had an interesting article about the draft today and the Minnesota Twins draft. And as we look back to another bad week for this team, you start to look at not just the here and now, but the going forward, and it's not a real pretty picture.
Well, they've been a little unlucky in the draft, too. They drafted those two pitchers, college pitchers. The one pitcher they drafted, they knew he had an arm problem, the guy from southwestern Missouri. And then they took the Ohio State pitcher who was had fantastic clippings, and he didn't make it. But overall, they haven't been very fortunate in the draft. I mean, they haven't done a very good job. And Mike Ratcliffe was a guy for a long time, and then they hired that guy from Johnson, I think his name is, from the West Coast, and now they finally got the second pick. And what Terry Rines told me, the draft is a very ordinary draft, probably one of the worst drafts they've had in years, so that ain't going to help them too much.
Good old baseball. They always has the NFL ever told you they had a rotten draft? Have they ever said they had a rotten? Only baseball are they stupid enough to say, boy, we don't have any players in this draft. They don't want to pay them. There's a couple of pitchers. College pitchers are a big risk, but I see Scott Boras was here talking to Terry over the weekend to decide whether he'll be reasonable under these new rules that exist or not. But I think they want to draft one of the college pitchers. We'll find out either the Apple's the first one, and the second one is a kid from.
Well, there's an outfielder from Georgia, that high school kid that they like. That might.
I think, you take a look at what they've got. And today, somebody told me about a month ago that they were so tired of manships, looking at manship, that was the last rung of the ladder. And here he is again.
Here he is again.
Well, what is the deal? They haven't had a pitcher that had any impact since the 2006 draft or 2005.
Garza, when was that?
Their pitching draft is
when was 2006?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about this. I mean, Perkins, obviously, they drafted.
Right after 2005. How did you see it?
Well, here's the other thing. Sometimes they're stupid. The kid from Fort Myers grew up, Hudson Boyd, last year's #1, first pick. He pitched across the street. He's as fat as me. Didn't they learn their lesson with Maharis? He's too damn fat to be pitching. They got him in the extended spring training, and they probably won't even send him to Elizabethton because he's not in shape to pitch. He's one of those big husky kids who's fatter than a pig.
I'll tell you, the other growing problem that you have in evaluating these kids now when you talk to scouts and everybody else is, for this position, pitching, they're pitching too much. They're trying to get drafted, so they're thrown in the winter, and they're on a program, and they feel like work hard, go far.
Yeah. Well, don't worry, that's not a problem with Hudson Boyd. But he's not overworked, except at the dinner table.
The guy that had the big year for the Gophers, T.J. Oaks, his dad's pitching coach. You know what they did last summer? Nothing. Didn't pitch.
Really?
Because he probably understands it more. But he came back and had this unbelievable year. That's a concern. You've got a couple of great pitchers right now, Logan Shore, Coon Rapids, and the kid from Rochester, and they play in the wintertime a lot too. Well, I'm sure that's tempting, right, to pitch, to do all those things, but that position's different. Why can't they get more good pitchers?
Garza, when did they draft Garza?
2002?
I don't know. Long time.
Well, he was a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah, well, they got rid of him because they didn't like him.
Yeah.
So they didn't like his personality, so they got that stable personality Delman Young in a trade for him.
Yes, that was a good swap. They were able to get Delman over there.
This team is so bad, I can't believe it. The American League, here's the problem. There's only 4 real bad teams in the American League. There's 10 from good to pretty good teams. But Kansas City, Seattle, Oakland, and the Twins. And the Twins are clearly worse than those other 3.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
This is a 100-loss team. Easy. You can't send out this pitching and win games.
You keep hearing, is this guy in trouble? Is that guy in trouble? Manager, general manager, president. What do you think is going to happen here?
What do you
hear?
Mr. Polad's got to open up his pocketbook.
Which one?
That's got nothing to do with it.
And, if they're not going to do it,
who are you going to sign, Sid? Who's going to come here?
free agent pitcher. If he gets enough money, he's going to come here.
Yeah, but okay.
I don't think so. I don't think you can.
You're going to outbid the Red Sox and the Yankees?
If he's really good, then you're bidding against Red Sox and the Yankees, and he's not going to come here then.
Yankees aren't going to be spending any money anymore.
Yeah, that's what they've said for about 20
40
years now.
I'm just telling you, they've changed their whole policy. One of the girls has now got a lot to say about the thing. She knows a little about baseball, but she don't want to spend any money. So
What?
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, and you said I got an email about this, and I think I finally figured it out. You're gonna wear that pink shirt every Sunday night until the Twins are 500.
Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
that started
said
last
that?
year. I got an email asking how long you're
Well,
saying.
that'd take us from 08 to today.
Take a break, come back.
Got a
stay
few
with us.
pink shirts.
Yes, indeed. Now, we had a gathering down there last week,
Oh boy.
and boy, was it fun.
All
Sydney,
four of
you
us were there, yeah.
You had a good time. Regardless of that look on your face today,
Yep.
you had a good time. Mike, you always
It
nice
was,
to
it was
see
wonderful, and then
Patrick?
It was a classic Dark Star moment. It started off as 3 of us were going to get together for pizza, and 24 of us ended up at Hoyt's. I don't know what happened, but it was great.
But a lot of fun. They put on a good show for us.
and the to-go factor. It's always nice when people can take something with them.
That's right.
You had a good time there, Sid. Home
all
court.
It was all right.
I'm still stuck. My problem is as hard as I try at my advanced age, I'm a one-chop guy now. I can't do two
Can't do
anymore.
two even if you
Can't
want?
do two even if I want
Okay,
to.
well, I went down there, and I had already eaten, right? Yeah, I ate at 5, did my radio show, came down there at 8:30 because I wasn't going to eat anything. So I thought, just a little salad. Well, maybe a piece of cheese. Well, maybe that sirloin tip. Pat does a wonderful job.
And the killer of all time was everybody had eaten everything in sight.
Yep.
And we're getting ready to go. We pay the bill. And out come these 2 desserts that look like bowling balls.
Holy cow.
And they got that Sebastian Joe's ice cream. I can't resist.
Yeah, that was very, very good.
Awful good.
Great time, Dark.
Nice
Thank you for
people.
putting
Yep,
that
you bet.
together. So when you talk about putting a minor league system together, the Twins drew rave reviews 5 or 6 years ago for their minor league system. Well, if that's true, then they should be really, really good right now.
I don't know. Hasn't happened, has it?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Well, Ricey, the baseball expert on this club, and I don't think Mike Ratcliffe did a very. You talking about the draft?
Yeah, but I mean, maybe some of it you can write off as bad luck with these injuries. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
they aren't plentiful down there. These, the position players either.
No. Well, Mike Ratcliffe, I didn't think he was anything great, and now they've got a guy named Johnson on the West
Amazing.
Coast, and I don't think they've done a very good job of drafting. I think there was a time where money was important. Now, according to what Charlie Walters wrote the other day, I don't know if he knows that, they got the highest amount of money available
that
for
they can spend.
12 million. They can spend 12 million.
What's got to frighten them is their top 10 prospects, whether you agree with the ratings or not. Aaron Hicks, who they loved after the fall league this year, he was finally on his way. He's hitting 230 in New Britain and not even walking anymore. Joe Benson, who everybody was excited about this spring, is back in Double-A and just had hamate bone surgery, and he was hitting 150 in Double-A.
Hicks.
After hitting Hicks, I said Hicks. They just, Wimmers, Kyle Gibson, everybody's gone backwards this year. All their hot top prospects have gone backwards.
Benson was a good-looking athlete last year when he came up.
The bad part about it was you got through all this, and now we're down to Gibson and Hicks as the shining lights in the minor leagues.
Again, Gibson's, he's coming back from Tommy John. Most of them come back, but not all of them.
Right.
That's right.
But as he mentioned, Hicks is right down to nothing. I mean,
Gardy told me he's never seen Joe Mauer so emotional as this year in the dugout and the way he's carrying himself, feeling the pressure maybe of his contract and everything else. What's your read on
I
that?
don't think he can run anymore.
What do you mean?
That's my opinion.
He's one of their best
One of the
base
best
runners.
base runners
I don't
they've
know
got.
where you come up with that.
Well, I just don't
For a
think
catcher, he runs pretty damn well.
he runs as well as any
He'll
catcher
go to
I've ever
first
Hit
seen.
11 double plays.
Well, yeah, but that's got, when you hit a hard 3-hopper to second base as often as he does, it doesn't make any difference if you're the fastest guy in the history of
Benny
sports.
Revere
I'll
can't be
tell you
that.
what else is killing him, too. They've got a shift now. Every team. That ball he used to hit up the middle, there's a guy standing there now, right?
Yeah, but
Right there.
I think he's the least of their problems. He's missed
Now,
2 games.
Joe
I
Mauer,
agree.
got no problems. He's getting $23 million a year. He can exist on that.
But he plays. He's playing this year.
The
Everybody.
thing is, what's the future of this thing? I mean, that's a bad part of it. There's nothing there unless, like I said earlier, they go out and spend some big money to sign a couple pitchers who can pitch.
Sid, you keep saying that. Who are you going to sign? Who are you going to sign?
Essentially, nobody's going to want to come here. If you
They
get
could have
that
gotten
kind of money,
Wandy
you might as well go
Rodriguez
win
from
it.
Houston. You want to pay Wandy Rodriguez $13 million? I don't think so.
They started talking about Edwin Jackson like he was on his way. He was never going to come here, not even
Well,
at $9 million.
they could have signed him, but it would have been probably 4 years.
Then what's the
50 million.
future then?
I don't know, Sid, but it's not. The future is not.
You're not looking at it.
The future is not bidding huge dollars for 34-year-old pitchers. That's not the future.
And they don't have the prospects in the.
Yeah.
So the
Well,
future's not good, is what we're
next
saying.
year?
The future
Future's
is you're
not
in a
good.
down cycle that's going to last a while.
The good news is you play in division where if you get a little bit lucky, you can get back into something.
See, in '82 and '81, they decided, well, we're going to play Herbeck,
Gaetti.
Puckett, all those guys, and they came back and won a World Series in '87. But they don't have nobody like
Yeah,
that.
that's the trouble. You had guys then that you knew were players. Puckett didn't come up till '84, but
Hey, Tony La Russa was in town this weekend. He was just in North Dakota, I guess, and checking things out. Just give me your assessment of him as a manager over the years, because as you looked at him, I realized those battles with the Twins in Oakland were fun. What did you think of La Russa over the years?
oh, he was an egomaniac, but he was pretty good at what he did. I know one thing: Tom Kelly. I had a lot of respect for him. Thought he was a great in-game. Thought he ran a great in-game team, and he won 2 World Series this decade with teams that weren't half as good as the teams in Oakland that he won 1 World
Yeah.
Series with. So
He and
he might have
TK
gotten better with age.
He and TK had a nice meeting
Won at
the
the
other
White
night.
Sox too.
They
He didn't win World Series, but he won.
One game.
When he coached the White Sox, he was a
Yeah, he was in
decent.
the He was in the ALCS against Baltimore in
Yeah.
'83, right?
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. I don't think
Oh,
there's
yeah.
any question about it.
Yeah.
Really, really good manager.
You know what happened
Smart.
to that '83 team? That '83 team won more games than any team in the American League. '84, they bring them all back, the White Sox. They thought they were going to be great. Tim Tuffle hit a little fly ball in front of Harold Baines in right field in the Dome, hopped over Harold's head for an inside the park 3 or 4 run homer. Twins walked them off, and they never recovered. They just played lousy
In
that whole
84.
year, the White Sox.
Yeah.
And in '84,
Yeah.
there was the Detroit Tigers and everybody else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the
Remember
Twins
that 30-7 start or whatever it was?
Yeah.
It was like the
Oh,
Twins
God.
in '92.
What?
That was like the Twins
Yeah,
in
Eric
'92.
Fox.
Eric Fox. Boom.
We're getting old, guys.
That was 20 years ago.
92, I went to Barcelona for the Olympics, convinced that this was the best Twins team I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Got back 3 weeks later and they were in a coma.
But there's a generation that doesn't even know some of these names that we're using.
20 years
Oh,
ago.
what do we care? They're
David
not
Ray,
watching.
come back. It was a fun experience doing it too. A lot of fun. Bruce.
You look
put me
good behind the wheel, I tell you what. You look good.
Get out of there in a hurry when Sid's trying to track me down after the show.
We got a stadium.
Okay, you wanted to say something.
Here's your problem. Not only the Twins, what about the Wild? What about the Timberwolves?
What
And
about the
what about the
Vikings?
Vikings? What team is going to
Lynx.
merge?
Lynx.
Links?
Lynx are a dynasty.
Yeah.
Okay,
Lynx
the
will go
Lynx
for
are
hockey.
dynasty.
We got a
What
stadium.
about-
We should be celebrating.
Yeah,
We
I
got
want
a
to say
stadium.
something because we didn't do this justice last week. When the stadium got built, there's a lot of credit being thrown around. Everybody's, we did not give the city council enough credit. And Barbara Johnson, especially.
I couldn't agree with you
How
more.
she got 7 votes,
Yep.
I don't have any
That's a
idea.
miracle.
Yep.
And when you talk about people 10, 20 years from now that made this thing happen,
Yep.
you have to point directly to her first and foremost.
Yep.
I think.
Oh, Ryback too. You got to give him credit.
Yep.
But they might have some lawsuits yet. It's not over. I see one guy.
It's over. They're going to build the stadium.
Don't worry. We're going to send it to Harry Crump. Harry will take care of it.
Okay.
What do you think?
I know a couple of those council guys are looking for a way to do something. I don't think they can do anything.
what?
But some of those negative guys are talking to lawyers to see if they got some
Well, that
basis to
$10
do
million
something.
deal. But
Yeah, I know.
That'll get tossed.
Yeah, I just can't see how you can go this far down the road. Do you, Dark?
No, because
No, that's why they shouldn't wait until.
No, put that
that's
shovel
why
in the
they
ground
shouldn't
right
wait
now.
until after next season. They should be building up that. They should be ripping up that back parking lot right now.
That's what he said the other night, and he's absolutely right. If I got a shovel and I'm in this deal, I go get a newspaper writer and a camera, and I go, watch this.
And then I start pounding on the front door of the Target Center too. Start ripping down the entrance.
Take
of the
these things out of here.
You know, that roof that they put on there after it collapsed is going to be the highest price per game roof.
Wait a second. They got a customer for that.
I know they can do some things, but
The
it's not quite
insurance
the
company.
same.
Yeah, but the insurance company.
They got a $20 million
collect.
customer.
Yeah, but the insurance company is going to get the money, not the Metrodome.
Right, they can parcel it off and
they'll
do
get some of
different
it.
things.
Why would they get any of it? Because
Well,
the insurance company paid for the
Pay
roof.
for the roof.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I
They
would
think they're going to get the money for it.
Huh?
No.
So
The
they think
insurance
they're going to
company.
collect the insurance and then turn around and sell it to
All
them?
you got to do is find
Well,
a
they
stadium
had a
that
roof
needs,
on
needs
there.
a dome roof.
They put a new
They'll
roof
pay
on
that
there.
same price. That
Put
shouldn't be
an
that
ad
hard to
in
do, right?
Put an ad in the sporting news
see who jumps up at
for
it.
a
Huh?
sale. Unbelievable.
What events do you think will come here first and foremost? I mean, do you think a Super Bowl's in play here? What do you think happens?
Final Four.
Final Four and Super Bowl. What are we going to recycle that
I
again?
don't think they'll get a Super Bowl right away. But I think they'll get a Final Four, and they'll get a lot of other things. I mean, what's happened, I talked to, about a long time ago, I talked to a guy at Dallas, and they had budgeted what they thought they were going to get, and they got twice as much.
Well, the other thing is they're going to. Heard somebody talking about this, that they figure they now can get the biggest conventions in the world, shuttle them back and forth between the new stadium and the convention center.
That's right. That's
I
what
mean, it'd be
Indiana-
better if they were attached, but they aren't.
But what else do you need, right? I mean, we got everything.
Oh,
It
sure.
seems
As far as the
thing-
facilities are concerned, everything is in line.
Except Williams Arena. Here's my plan. Are you with me? Will you get on board? Rip down Williams Arena, build a practice facility, a volleyball court, a wrestling thing, and have the Gophers play downtown.
Huh?
the
At
Target
the new
Center.
Target Center.
That ain't going to happen.
Louisville plays at the Yum
You
Center.
might have a good idea, but that's not going to
Louisville plays at the Yum Center, 4 miles from campus. That doesn't seem to have been a problem for them. Syracuse plays at the Carrier Dome. That's not on campus. That's several miles away from campus. They haven't had much problem the last 30 years.
Listen, there are going to be some people that
Downtown.
There are going to be some people. I hear what you're saying, but there are going to be some people that will never let go of the elevated playing surface
Nope.
mentality.
Nope.
It's not going to happen.
And if they win,
What do we care? We're throwing them all out. All those people were thrown out of the arena anyway, out of their seats, because somebody will pay more than them for them. All the 70-year-olds are being thrown out of their seats anyway.
Sid, I got one more question for you before I go to break, though. Is it for sure, because I thought it was, that they can play baseball in the new stadium?
Yes, sir.
That is for sure, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not in question,
Absolutely
right?
for sure.
I get
Everybody
emails
I've
that-
asked has said,
That's what I'm saying. You get that too,
we
right?
think so.
We think so, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. If you, it'll only be 200 feet down the line, but they can
Tell you
play.
what, they've had so many high schools and colleges playing baseball.
Yeah, but
Correct.
that's not the question.
I predict it's going to be advertised. The People's Stadium is going to be football and soccer, I predict.
Well, it'll be interesting because a lot of people have that question now, and I get the same answer that you do. That kind of we think so.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I talked to the Wolves. They're going to do that for baseball.
Okay. Take a break, come back, finish up. Stay with us. Congratulations, class of 2012. Yeah, edible image photo cake or cookies from Franklin Street Bakery. Let's get the sports show on one of those bad boys, huh?
Yeah.
Plus, stock up on cupcakes and hamburger buns for the graduation celebration. Call 612-879-5730 or visit us, corner of Franklin Avenue and 11th Avenue, Minneapolis, for more details. And yes, you can find them on Facebook.
I
Man, I'm happy.
drove by there the other morning heading to work, and that car kept wanting to take a left turn, but I managed to keep going.
We got here.
Just a quick note, Memorial Day. We want
Tomorrow.
to tell everybody that support the troops, USO, Red Cross, all the things that are incorporated into helping the military faction in this country.
Very good. Sydney, did you watch the Celtics last night in the NBA?
NBA?
Yeah.
I watched
That
it.
Rajon Rondo is the key, not the rest of them.
I'm watching it. Pretty interesting flips out there. Saunders working with Rivers. Garnett's playing like a house on fire. I think that's why he's got him out there. But I don't know. I think any one of those 4 teams can win it. I think right now I think the Spurs got the best team.
I agree
They
with
won
you.
18
I think they'll
games
win
in
it.
a
They
row.
got the size and the physical stuff, and I think they'll win it.
I think, first of all those San Antonio, Oklahoma City games are going to be 3-4 point games probably. And I think the Spurs are just going to be a lot smarter down the stretch, don't you?
It's going to be good basketball. It's going to be good. I mean, if you want a great matchup, Oklahoma City and the Spurs. This is it.
You know, we all
You got
speculated
the
with this.
home field advantage too. That's a big thing.
We all speculated with this shortened season this year, and of course, Timberwolves beat the Spurs a couple times early
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
And at the end of the day, the teams that everybody thought were going to be there are there.
Well, they had some health problems. They lost that.
Right, Ginobili got hurt against them. Yeah,
That hurt them, and that coach does a heck of a job.
He's got the personality of the wall, man, but
I give him a lot of credit.
he's a GM and a coach, right? Doesn't he? I mean, he does his own
Now they got those
personality.
three-
like Adelman is now.
He had there was a thing in the paper the other day. Toward the end of the season, he listed his center, Tim Duncan, as DNP, old.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And drew some criticism.
It's great.
Looks like he got him where he wanted to get him, huh?
guess so.
Now he's got three of the best players in the league, and they're old, but they seem to perform.
Adelman scares me, man. I think he will trade for Paul Gasol just because he don't give a damn where this team is 3 years from now.
That's what he's going to do.
Rebuild your resume.